Well, it is the first official day of December. We are in the midst of greatness, and it has been a wonderful, wonderful Sunday of great football fun. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Chefrazzi Report. Our guy right now is he's having the day off tonight. So
Oh, yeah, day off tonight.
yes,
Yeah.
so Lone Wolf and I are running the show.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, welcome everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. I
Oh, you
hope
got day off
everybody
tonight.
had a great Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Oh, God bless you.
Hope that you got a chance to
Oh, yeah,
spend time with
$3
your
left.
family and loved
$3
ones.
left. Who said nothing?
Great job to everyone. Hopefully everybody had a great day today. Of course, you guys, everybody know, subscribe to the channel, YouTube, Facebook, wherever we're at. Find us. Very easy to find us. Facebook, like I said, Facebook, YouTube. Lone Wolf, my brother. Yes, this is the first time the two of us get to do this together. So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna
This
be
is gonna be real fun.
yes, Lord. Yes.
Man, let me go ahead and pull some things right here. A
Yes.
lot of upsets going on.
Yes.
So as the word Cody Rose. So what you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, do you want to get the slate out the way so we can go ahead and get that covered so we can get into the stuff that we would like to talk about?
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get through the slate. All right. Well, this slate was actually very interesting. We'll go ahead and start with Thursday first. Let's get Thursday out the way because Thanksgiving was very interesting. We'll go ahead and start with the first game on the slate, which was the Bears and the Lions. As
Mhm.
always, that is one of the traditional Thanksgiving games that we've always seen on live television. The Lions walked in there at home with the best record in the NFC, facing a very familiar foe with the Chicago Bears. And it looked like the Bears had a chance, but they forgot about two
Again, I need
words:
watch out.
time
All right.
management.
Mhm.
Time management. Seemed like the Bears did not understand the clock situation, and it cost them a game that was probably needed and could have saved their coach. But it didn't happen. The game was lost. The Bears lost. They've
Huh?
already lost their offensive coordinator, and now they lost their
Wait
head
right there,
coach
Lynn.
after this game.
Bye.
Lone Wolf, outside of Detroit being Detroit, I know you've been wanting to get your hands on the Bears, especially when it comes to Mr. Matt. I don't even call him by his last name because he don't even deserve to be called by that. I just call him Mr. Matt now. Now you're not even a head coach. You've been calling for this hire since the beginning of the season. You said that was one of the ones that was a very, very hot seat to start with, especially with all the pieces that they added. Go for it.
Yeah, I did call for Matt job. Not only that,
Mm-hmm.
I called for the GM job too. He's next. Don't you worry. I'm waiting. Um, Clock management, and this is the Bears' third straight game that they had the team on the ropes and they won. And
Mm-hmm.
all three games were divisional games.
Yes.
It doesn't get no bigger better than that. And I say to myself, I say, watch out for Detroit curse, which was Thanksgiving and week two curse were the two things I worry about. Will they pass Thanksgiving curse? Now they've been on a 10-game winning streak. As far as I'm concerned, they Bible said they clinched the division. That's unless Minnesota say something else. So the point being is the coach is gone, but the GM is next.
I think the only way the GM will be gone is if the GM do something extremely stupid. But knowing how the Bears organization work, more than likely that's going to happen. So I don't think the GM will be gone this year. But I can guarantee you, if by next year, if he doesn't do anything right between the draft and free agency, yeah, he's going to be gone next. Yeah, Caleb. Even though your head coach didn't know about the time, you did. You played. You were on the field. You had a timeout. You could have burned it, and you could have saved the misery. My God, sorry y'all. Watching the game tonight, Buffalo and San Fran. Looks like CMC. He's starting to feel like himself again. Yeah, but yeah, Detroit. Of course, the train's still rolling, but they got a big test coming their way in the next 2 weeks, and that's going to be the one to tell me if they're ready for the Super Bowl run that I expect them to make it, and that's that team that we're watching right now, Buffalo. Buffalo comes to Detroit, and one thing about Buffalo, they travel deep. So
Oh,
I
absolutely.
I can't wait for that game. That's going to be the probably going to be the game of the week when we get to that point. But Detroit, you still did what you do best, run it between the tackles. Defense did phenomenal in the first half, not so well in the second half because Caleb started getting going in the second half. But overall, they found a way and they woke up. So I give credit is due. A win is a win. Defense got to get a little bit better right now, especially in the second half, because if you dominate the first half, it needs to carry over. And I think that's the one thing that Dan Campbell preaches is about execution all the way through. But when it comes to Chicago, this fire should have been happened. It should have happened. Honest, I mean, if you really look at it, I feel bad for the Bears because they should be at least 7-5 or 8-4 right now. If you look at all the heartbreaks that happened, and the bad part about it is it started with the Washington game. That Washington game when they got the Hail Mary catched on them. Ever since that game, they have not been right.
No, they've been on a 6 game losing streak,
Yep,
and
and it probably started with that Washington game, if I'm not mistaken.
it don't get no easier for them.
Mm-mm.
They got to go to San Francisco.
Yeah.
They got to go to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Then Detroit comes to them.
Oh, they got Detroit again.
Then Seattle comes to them.
Ah,
Then they finish out the Packers. Yeah,
they might not win another game the rest of the season.
no.
Mm.
If they win another game, it might be Detroit and Chicago.
And that's a Detroit of because if Detroit wrapped up the NFC and the NFC North, yeah, they might not be playing their players. But here's the bad part about it: the backups is just as good. So I don't even know because Joe Milton looks like he look like he's a quality backup. He look like he could play. He could play probably like in New York right now. 'Cause I don't. But that was a good. Like I said, that was a good game. Of course, unfortunately, we had the other game, the other 4:30 game. I wish they would have canceled this game, but they couldn't because they're always on TV. It was the look. Let's just say this: at 4:30, if you started eating dinner, you did it at the right time because you did not have to watch that mediocrity that was on TV on at 4:30. I'm glad I was working at that time because that Dallas and Giants game was extremely 1,000% boring.
The only one that enjoyed that game was the old man.
Yep,
That's the only
that's
one.
literally it. Literally, Jerry was the only one that enjoyed it, and probably he would have enjoyed it more if he had Dollywood perform in the halftime show instead of whoever he had on there. Point is, both these teams were terrible. Both these teams should not have been on Sunday afternoon. I'm glad Fox called that game, but I know Brady was so happy that he didn't have to watch that mediocrity for that long because this game was just horrible to watch. And the worst thing about it, now all of a sudden Dallas think they got they're gonna go on this little run. Let me just
Yeah, I
explain to
won't.
y'all. That's not gonna happen. I just want y'all to know this. You had a 2 game winning streak,
Not the biscuit.
and you played two of the worst teams that you had to play on your schedule. And I get it, your schedule doesn't it gets a little lighter for you, but you still got to deal with the division. And I don't see you not winning another game in the division because I can tell you this much: I don't think you want to see Washington again. I don't think you want to see Washington again. I know you don't want to see the Eagles again. So that's already 2 losses. You kind of hope that you play the Giants every game the rest of this schedule. because that might be the only way you get into the playoffs. Other than that, I don't see y'all making a deep run at all. I think the surprising part, which is not surprising anymore, y'all not gonna make the playoffs. Giants, y'all just need to go ahead and tank and try and get one of these quarterbacks that's in the draft. Probably Shador for the likes, but if you need a quarterback, I think you should go out and get Cam Ward. Point is, both these teams are terrible. Both these teams need to be in a rebuild. Both these teams need to figure out who they are because I don't even know who these teams are anymore. So I got nothing for this game. This game was just
I,
trash.
I don't have nothing for this game. I told people who Drew Lock really is. I told you he can't read defense. I
Nope.
told you he'll overthrow,
Yep.
underthrow,
Yep.
throwing tight coverage.
Yep.
All that means everything to him. See, for the Giants, I'll just let you know right now. This lets you know the star of the show for the Cowboys was really Rico Dow was the star of the show. 22 for
Yeah.
about 12 in the tub. I mean, it's that it's not it's nothing to going on. The elite neighbors, he had a good day, 8 reception for 69 yards. But let's face it, Giants are dumpster fire.
That's it.
Let's just face it.
And it don't get easy for the Cowboys because they get the Bengals, the Panthers, the Bucks, Eagles, and Commanders. Those are their last 5 games. I could easily see them losing all 5 of those games.
And CMC is down.
See, told you. It just again, he just like he just don't make
he
no
can't.
sense.
He just can't get healthy.
Nope.
But in any event,
And then the
the point
last
of the
game,
game,
yeah.
the,
In the
the
last
point
game
of the,
on, and then the last game on the Thursday game, which was
yes.
the game that was very predictable. The
Oh,
Miami
hold on.
Dolphins travel.
Hold on a second, Rob. The point is, I'm gonna finish up with this one. The point is,
Oh,
with
go
this
ahead.
one is, there for Giants, there's some quarterbacks gonna be out there this year. I
Oh
suggest
yeah,
you better go get them.
yeah. Please get y'all a quarterback, and please don't get one out of the free agency market. Please don't do that. Don't
No.
do. That. Please get you a quarterback that can build around Malik Neighbors. Please do that because he's already told y'all he's getting fed up with losing. So please build around Malik Neighbors. Find a quarterback that can build with him for the next decade, so y'all can at least be somewhat relevant. Because this is ridiculous. I mean, it's funny how we laugh about the Cowboys and their mediocrity, but the Giants' mediocrity is just different from the Cowboys. They've just been a dumpster fire ever since Eli Manning left, and they have not changed, and that's what makes it sad.
Mm-hmm. No, next game.
Yeah. Now the only other game that was somewhat intriguing, but it started out intriguing, but it ended up bad. Them Dolphins, they don't like cold weather. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and just say it. They just don't like cold weather. Anything that's below 50 degrees, they will not like. I don't get it. Every time they play a team that has a cold environment, they lose. They lose. He is I think was it Tua said he's what 0-6 and weather that's below 50 degrees.
I think so. I can pull that up for you.
Like it's ridiculous. Every time he gets into a cold environment, they just lose. Oh, and there goes James Cook. And he's out of there. Told you. Once Buffalo starts scoring, it is a wrap. And James Cook ran out, I think, 80 some yards to the house. Goodbye.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. But yeah, it sucks that Miami is so good in other places in a dome, at home, warm environment, climate control. But when they get into the elements, for some odd reason, I don't know what it is, Tua and the boys just do not do well.
Um, Tua is 0-8
Yeah,
when the temperature is 45 degrees or below.
yeah. I figured it was like 0-6, but 0-8. That just that.
Oh, he's 0-4 when the temperature is 40 degrees or lower.
Sheesh.
So basically, if anything that's 46 and above, he'll be A-OK. Miami, the only one who used to play cold in Miami was Tyreek Hill. Is the only one that played cold.
Yep.
And now Jordan Love got to taste that weather. Now keep in mind, Jordan Love got to taste that weather, so he's used to it. He's
Oh
been
yeah.
in that weather for 7 years, so he's
Mm-hmm.
used to that type of style.
Yep.
Josh Jacobs, this is his first time being in that type of weather.
And he
Leading around.
thrived in it.
And yeah, he thrived in it. But Tucker Craft, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
6 for 38. The only one who showed up for it is Jonas Smith for the Dolphins. 10 reception for a buck 13.
And he's been producing for the last 2 weeks. I like Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, I think he came from Tennessee, I believe.
I think so. And he knows how Tua plays, so that kind of helps out. The point is just I think Miami is just too little, too late. I think when Tua was hurt for those 4 weeks with the concussion, I think those 4 weeks I knew it would cost them in the long run, and now it's starting to come and bite them. So I don't know if the chicken's going to come to roost, but I don't think Miami has enough gas to finish out the rest of the season and try and get one of the last wild card spots. Not this far.
I don't think they do because when I look at the Dolphins' schedule, it doesn't get no gravy than that.
Yeah, because don't they got to go to Buffalo?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do. They got to
no.
go to Buffalo.
Nope.
They got the Jets.
Nope.
Wait a minute, they are finished with Buffalo already. They're done with Buffalo.
Oh, they're done with Buffalo? Oh, even better.
Okay, they got the Jets. But in Miami. They got the Texans,
That's
Niners, Browns,
That's where the
Jets
loss is.
again.
Are the Browns? Is the Browns? Are they at the Browns or are the Browns have come?
Last 2 games was on the road.
Oh,
Browns and the Jets on the road.
Yeah, no, yep, and they're already what 5-7.
They're 5-7.
Yep. So 2 losses. 2 losses will put them at 8-9 or 7-10. Nope.
No, and on top of that, when you got too many people, when you got too many AFC teams that's vying for a spot in the playoffs, you got Denver, you got Chargers, you got the Ravens, even the Texans. There's too many teams to overcome.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be done.
Yeah, it's don't look too good for them. I think the Packers they'll probably get one of the wild card spots because I don't see them trying to. I mean, I don't see the only way they can possibly win the North is that they got to beat Detroit this Thursday. Problem is they're in Detroit and they've already beaten them in Green Bay, so you're kind of asking a lot for Green Bay to do on a Thursday night, especially after you played well on Sunday. So on Thursday. So you can get a wild card spot and possibly might have to see one of these lower teams that you might have to see like Atlanta or Tampa. But let's get to the Sunday slate. Let's go ahead and get that going. First up on the slate, let's take a trip down. Let's get the ugly ones out the way. Let's get the ugly ones out the way. The Titans and the Commanders. Let's get that one out the way. Commanders, they wanted payback for these last 2 weeks, and they took it out on the Titans. Plain and simple.
Oh, speak your piece.
Yeah, plain and simple. I mean, having the heartbreak loss at home to the Cowboys, and then another heartbreak loss the week before. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play Washington at home. So yeah, Titans. This was just not your day. And Jaden Daniel just remind y'all why he's the offensive rookie of the year. I mean, it's just plain and simple. 206 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, had 1 pick. But other than that, he played a pretty clean game, 114.7 passer rating. Only missed 5 completions. I think he had a pretty stellar day. Team was all around good. Yeah. Yeah. This nasty work.
Look here. It wasn't even halftime and it was 28-0.
Yep.
That's how bad it was.
Nasty work.
Defense was the rule of the day. Defense got on. Oh, please let me count the ways to the Washington defense. Let me count the ways, even though they didn't have to do that much because really Titans defense was supposed to know how to. Well, they don't stop the run anyway.
Nope.
They don't stop the run anyway, but because Brian Robinson Jr. gashed him for 103 yards, Chris Rodriguez Jr. gashed him for 94. Scared. Then I thought it was supposed to be number one the defense in the pass, right? Why did Scary Terry have 73 yards and 2 tubs? So no. Titans, it's time for you to find an offensive line. And I mean, you need to find an offensive line real bad because if you don't, you're gonna get Will Levis killed.
Sooner than later.
But
Sooner.
next.
And you want to know the funny thing about it? That was the only ugly game. All the rest of the games was close and tight knit. I mean, we can go ahead and start with Jacksonville. Jacksonville and the Texans. I thought the Texans had this game won. It looked like it was about to be an ugly game, but Jacksonville, for some odd reason, when what's his face got knocked out and got knocked out of the game, Mac Jones came in there and he did pretty well. 20 or 32, 235, 2 touchdowns, one to Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, I gotta give Jacksonville a little bit of a credit. I mean, although the loss is a loss, the fact they didn't roll over and die and they kept it with them, I give Jacksonville credit more than I would say that the Texans need to learn how to finish games because I don't understand how you have your division. I'm granted, I know this is divisional foe, but at, at the same token, when you got them down, you need to finish the job because there's going to be a time if when you do make the playoffs, it's going to be a game like this where you need to finish your opponent, and if your opponent gets any breathing room, and it could be a very bad day for you. Um, Joe Mixon saved y'all completely because if you
Really,
didn't
Nico
have him,
Collins did.
yeah, because if you didn't have Joe Mixon, you probably would have lost this game.
Really, Nico Collins showed up. We know that Jacksonville can't stop the pass. We know that clear as day. Well, he didn't record. He didn't record it all, but that's all right.
Nico had 8 for 119 and a touchdown.
Yeah. The
Killing
part,
it.
the problem is with this is I forgot to put it on you. We're gonna put it on YouTube, but that's all right. Presentation.
I think they miss Will Anderson a lot.
I think so too. Um, the thing is with this one is this. I kind of like what they did, and they may be a possible quarterback controversial in Jacksonville
Mm-hmm.
because they realize that ever since Trevor Lawrence got paid, and this is something that I can't get right was correct.
Yep.
Ever since Trevor Lawrence got paid, he has not performed to his duties,
No.
and it's starting to show.
And it's crazy because when the minute they got him, I literally had in my head, I was like, uh-oh, Trevor, the organization is giving you a sign saying that we're gonna go for it with you, but don't get it twisted. You can be replaced very quickly. And if you and Peterson don't get it together, we have a quality backup who's been a starter in this league and took a team to the playoffs. Don't play with us. That's
Really,
all I can say.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate to say it, but I think Doug Peters might be on his way out.
Oh, no question.
I think he's gonna be on his way out.
No question.
But somebody else should be on his way out with him, and that's Trent Block.
Sounds like the GM of Jacksonville. Yeah.
That's The same GM who was a member of the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
The same GM that ran Jim Harbaugh out of San Francisco.
Mm.
That Trent Block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't forget who he is. He's the one that ran them out of there.
Yeah. You gotta get up out of there. That whole team gotta. And the bad part about it, the team really doesn't need to be rebuilt. It just needs to be repolished. They have the players. You have a Travis Etienne and Tank Bisbee. You got the wide receiver core. You got the wide receiving core, and you get the tight ends. Defense is okay. You can improve more on the defense, but it's not that much of improvement that really needs to be done in Jacksonville outside of culture and coaching. That's literally it. And I think if you can just fix those two, I think Jacksonville, you got to look at it. Jacksonville 2 years ago won this division. They
Yeah,
won this
before and
division with Trevor Lawrence.
then before CJ Stroud came into town.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They can win this division if they want to. The problem is they just I don't know. It's like ever since they won a division 2 years ago before CJ got in, after CJ got in, it's just been it's like I don't know what happened. Like I said, I think when Trevor got that money, he just acted different. And I think this is the year of him humbling himself. Because you were supposed to be this golden guy, draft high, number one, Heisman Trophy finalist. You were supposed to be this next guy, and you're not playing like that guy. I mean, look at the guys in your draft class. I mean, granted, you've had a stellar draft class, but all you got, most of the guys in your draft class has exceeded expectation. You just made expectation, and you're hitting below it. You got to get back in order, sir. Because if not, I know you just signed the deal. We seen teams eat that money just so they can get a brand new person in there and start all over.
I.e. us, i.e. now the Giants.
Mm-hmm. So
And my problem with Travis Etienne Jr. health is starting to become a factor.
mm-hmm.
Man can't stay healthy.
Nope.
And it's starting to show. I think he got a contract coming up too.
Mm-hmm.
On him coming up. So
He,
if
he
I
might
was
he might be one of the ones that get franchise tagged because I don't think nobody's willing to go out there and pay for a guy who's injury prone.
let me see, he's first round. He's a first round draft pick. So yeah, that's a club option. So he's on their team. So
He'll
if
get
you're in
that.
Jacksonville,
He'll get the team will probably pick up his 5th year option.
yeah, and you ask yourself the question: are you willing to pick up his 5th year option? And if he doesn't stay healthy or produce, do you think it's time for you to move on and let Tank Bigsby be that guy?
I believe so. I think Tank has proven himself to be that guy. It's just he needs more touches and need more reps with the first team. But I think now in this day of the NFL, you need two running backs to be like a combo pack in
Mm-hmm.
order for you to survive in the league. So I don't know if they just need to find another running back or, like I said, just give Tank a chance and let him run with that and just go ahead and just not take his option and just go ahead and let him go. But it is what it is with Jacksonville. Texans, please get it together. You're one of my teams. I thought that you would be one of these teams, especially that can be one of the top teams in the AFC. You're not looking like it.
Well,
Maybe once you get healthy, maybe I can get back to believing it. But right now, no.
no. Well, maybe is this: if Jacksonville pick up his 5th year option, it's not going to cost them that much. It'll cost them maybe no more than $6 million.
Oh, they can pick that up.
So they can pick that up, and if he doesn't produce, they can just let him go.
Right.
So that's a good thing. But next game,
Uh, yeah. The next game, like I said, all these 1 o'clock games were very close. Let's go into Minnesota because this was one of the most intriguing games. It was on the schedule. Arizona, like I said, I've been impressed with Arizona. I've I have not been that impressed with them from the beginning, but they have turned the corner with me. But I knew it would have to be a team like Minnesota to come in there and see if you can actually go into another team's home and knock them off their block. And you almost had it. You almost had it. But the players of Arizona, the star players, they showed up where it needed to be. Justin made great catches when it was necessary. Even though Aaron Jones had a fumble and missed a touchdown, he made up for it by getting the winning touchdown, which ended up being the winning touchdown. And Minnesota survives Arizona 22-23.
And I was one of them guys that been on riding high with Arizona. I still believe in this Arizona Cardinals team.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, and I still believe in them. They lost two. They lost two games. One's the division rival with Seattle, which Seattle holds on to first place. But this game right here, they needed this game.
Mm-hmm.
They needed it.
They did.
And now you got to think, because you lost, and now the Rams are coming to the rear, and I think Frisco's on their way being done. I'm going to say this, all the 49 fans right now, I think y'all, 49ers about to be on the way to being done.
Ooh.
And I'll be honest with you, I think Kyle Shanahan should be on his way out.
If not fired, there needs to be a mutual agreement between the two parties. Because
Right.
I think that should be more of that's more of a respect thing between him and John. Because him and John both came to the 49ers at the exact same time. They've both built this team together. And like I said, I've always thought when it came to the 49ers, I think it's just the fact that it ran its course. Now the injury bug has finally caught up to the 49ers, and it's hitting in the places where it's not needed to hit. I mean, you got Nick Bosa is hurt. You got Hargrave that's hurt. The star safety that they had from last year, all on the injured reserve list. You had CMC on the injured reserve list for a little while, and now look like he's about to go back on the injured reserve list. Brock Purdy is hurt. Brandon Ayuk is out for the rest of the season. I mean, damn. And now Trent Williams is hurt. Every which way you can see, a star player from the 49ers is hurt.
And that's the key thing. That's why I say I think they're on the way being done. They're done.
Yeah.
But Arizona, I still believe in them. And with them, I think they got a shot of sneaking in and getting the wild card spot in the playoffs. But it's still got a possible way to win the division. Arizona got to run the table.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think they'd rather win a division and try to get a wild card spot. Because right now, the wild card, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it is Washington, Green Bay, and Minnesota, and all of them got better records again and compared to Arizona. So if I were them, I would just go ahead and try to run the table and beat everybody else.
Arizona next five games, they got Seattle coming to them this time.
Mm-hmm.
They got New England coming to them.
They
go to Carolina.
You should have the 49ers, right?
You got 49ers coming to them too at the end of the year.
Yep.
They got Carolina. They got to go to Carolina. They got to go to the Rams. And that's the game you are waiting to see if the Cardinals are for real.
Yep.
So we're gonna see on that one.
And ironically enough, that game could be deciding who wins the division or not at that point. Yeah. So all right, let's go through the next one. Another tough game. This one was really tough. Colts and the Patriots.
Ooh.
My goodness. This game, I would tell you right now, I was asleep most of the day. I literally woke up in the fourth quarter of all these games, and every last one of these games if y'all had Red Zone today, Red Zone was the great day to watch the witching hour. The witching hour was literally what it was. Wins became losses, and losses became wins. New England was winning this entire game. Probably outside of the first quarter, but they were winning mostly the majority of the game, and I got to give Anthony Richardson a lot of credit. I've been very critical on him, especially ever since he got benched. I've been very harsh. I've said, but I had to rethink myself because he's only played and he's only played football for what 2 years? Yeah, 2 years.
This year 2 on him.
Yeah, 2 years and really what 6 games in the NFL. He's
Yeah, because
still a kid learning this game, and for him to take a seat back for 3 weeks and realize that he needed to become a better professional and become a better player. Ever since he got benched, he's been on a roll. He's been
I
on a
mean,
roll. The team has got 2 wins now, back to back. This one was literally on the shoulders of Anthony Richardson, and I give Jonathan Taylor a lot of credit. 25 carries, 96 yards, but between 109 yards passing, which was mediocre if you look at it, but it was so meaningful because the passes that he got, like third downs, fourth downs, were killers because you kept the Patriots defense out there, and then you scored not only the winning touchdown, not only threw the winning touchdown, then you got the 2 point conversion that actually, and see, this is what coaches, I need y'all to understand this. When you're on the road and your team has not been doing well, we're not going to overtime. We're going to win. We come to
mhm.
win the game. And that's exactly what Shane Steichen did. He did right exactly what I wanted him to do. But get going to overtime. Give it to your best player who can make the right read at the right time and win us the game. They did exactly that. This is why they drafted Anthony Richardson high. But that right there, those little nuggets right there, those nuggets can build off a person's character and how they play football, and it can get them better in the long run. So I am very, very happy for Anthony Richardson. I'm also sad about the Patriots because they had this game won, and then the kicker just needed 2 more yards. Two more
Um,
yards to break the record.
I,
Dang.
like this, Drake May, he is what I was shouting about. Patriots found their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They found him.
He just needs help.
He just need an offensive line
Mm-hmm.
to protect him, and really need a number one wide receiver.
Yep.
And if so, if Travis Hunter is available,
You better go get him.
yeah, I recommend you go get him. Go get him.
No question.
Yeah. So
No question.
yeah.
It's not even a discussion.
Nah, I think Travis Hunter will fit right into the Patriots way.
Yep.
The
And let him
thing
play
is,
both ways. Let him play both ways.
if you want to play both ways, that's fine by me.
Let him go.
But the problem is, um, this was a game that was ugly. I thought about taking the under the game, but I say, let me sit back and watch this a little bit more and switch over to the over. So I took the over in that game, and the over paid off. So bottom line is this.
I actually picked the Colts straight up. I just
And
had a funny feeling. I was like, okay, the Colts, they're going to find a way to win this game. I think they had enough juice to win it. I
yes,
mean, I know it's not. I don't care what people say. It's not easy going to New England.
no,
No matter how they look, it's not easy going.
especially the weather started to go like 30, 40 degrees.
Yeah, it's
And
not easy.
you as a team are so used to being in the dome
Yeah,
where it's like room temperature.
yeah,
So it's not that easy to shift over from room temperature to cold. Just
no,
like it's not easy to shift over from you being the south of warm weather to go up to the north to the cold.
right.
It's not easy. It's adaptations.
Nah,
But the Colts still alive, 6-7. They ain't bad.
yep. Still got a chance. They got a long way to go if they want to make the playoffs. But if they want to make a chance out of it, there's a good chance. So I like their start. Don't get no easier for the Colts on their way trying to make a playoff run. Another close game that we had today, and buddy. This one shouldn't have been close, but it was. The Atlanta Falcons. I can't call you Kirko Chains. I can't even call you Curtis. I gotta look in your eye and call you Kirk Cousins. Anytime we call you Kirk, in the words of Pulp Fiction, you know you done messed up, right?
Oh, that means society.
Yeah. You know you done messed up, right? I hope you do this. Kirk Cousins, you do realize, dear sir, these last games is your evaluation. Why am I saying that, folks? Because in this year's draft, they drafted a guy in the first round in the School of Washington by the name of Michael Penix Jr. Now, when Michael Penix Jr. got drafted in the first round, everybody looked at him and said, why are you doing that when you have Kirk Cousins? But games like this, every year he's going to give you a game just like this. And he did it again.
Huh?
Right on schedule.
You have my other cards.
He threw not a touchdown. He
Nope.
threw nothing but picks. His passer rating was 40.
You give away donations.
Matter of fact, he was still giving out turkeys. He was still giving out turkeys from he was giving out leftover turkeys. You get a turkey. You get a turkey. You get a turkey. The only bright spot of this game was Bijan. And the bad part about it, this is one of his better games. 26 carries, 102 yards, and 1 touchdown. Hell, if y'all knew look, after the second pick, this should have been a Bijan and Tyler Algier game. You probably could have beaten the Chargers if you just start running the ball more with Tyler Algier to balance it out between him and Bijan. I don't know what to tell you about this one. Now, the only saving grace is the fact that you're still, but now you're tied for the South because of the fact that you swept Tampa, which that gives you help. Problem is you're tied with it because of the fact that Tampa won today, and when Tampa won today and you lost, now you've opened the door back up for Tampa. Luckily, you don't see them anymore, but you can't take another division loss, and they take another division win. Because if it does happen like that, your cousin might be out the door.
Defensively, Chargers show who they are. Chargers show why they're top 10 against the pass. Defensively.
Yep.
Was still getting 2 picks out of that deal, including a pick 6.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually the only, if I remember correctly, there's another person who made a touchdown too. It was, I think it was, no, that was the only touchdown.
I would say that was the only touchdown they
that
had.
Was the only touchdown.
Everything else was field goals.
Outside of Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chargers basically just play defense. Justin Herbert didn't do that much.
Nope.
He had 147, and basically 75% of them yards came from Lab McConkey.
Mm-hmm.
$117. Lab McConkey will show you. It'll show you. He's saying, no, I'm number 1 receiver now. Oh, everybody worry about the Keenan Allen replacement. Well, don't need to look no further. Say hello to Lab McConkey. That's your number 1 guy.
Smart pickup. I enjoy that pickup. And ironically, the highest scoring game out of all the games, Steelers and Bengals.
Well, I knew this was gonna be decent, but I didn't. Defense, just sit down. This was your day. This was the Russell Wilson and the Joe Burrow show.
If anybody would have told me that these quarterbacks together would have 723 passing yards combined. I'd have told you you're nuts. If you told me that they combined would score 6 touchdowns, I'd have told you you're nuts. Well, I'm nuts. And you are too. 414 passing yards for Russell Carrington Wilson. Brother, what is going on with you? And this will make, and you know what makes this 400 even better? Not one wide receiver, not one tight end, not one running back on the roster cracked 100 yards. It was
No,
literally a if I find you and you're open, I'm going to throw it to you type of day.
we call that spreading the ball around. And let me say, let me go ahead and tell you, this guy by the name of Joseph Lee Barrow, aka Joe Barrow,
Yes, Lord.
aka Home Alone Joe. He had 309 yards and 3 tubs in the pick. Now, the only thing I'm concerned about that is the Bengals offensive line had to help him with them 4 sacks. So, and 2 of them became to soon to be a dad, TJ Watts. So that's something that the Bengals got to address pretty soon. Yeah, address the offensive line on it. But both Russell Wilson and Joe Barrow spread the ball around. They didn't go to one man. They just spread it. If you, like I say, you open, I'm gonna get you. And I love this type of games. Defense, just sit down. It wasn't for you. Offense rule the day.
I'm glad that you brought up, but here's the thing when it comes to Cincinnati. Hasn't it always been an issue for like the last 5 years, the offensive line?
Yeah.
And then they go out and pay guys good amount of money to protect Joe Burrow. And they
Yeah.
still having issues with the offensive line.
But at the same time, some of it is on Joe Barrow because he holds the ball a little bit too long than norm.
True.
So I got to put some blame on Joe Barrow for holding the ball a little bit too long than norm. But yeah, offensive line, I think the Bengals need to get a little bit younger or a little bit beefier on offensive line, particularly in the guard, in the left guard, and the left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest need. Because last year we had a problem with the right tackle and the right guard.
Now they
This
fixed
year
that
you have the
problem.
problem with the
Now it's
left
on the
tackle
left
and left
side.
guard.
Yep.
So they gotta get that addressed.
They do.
Because think about it. Bengals got the talent to win to go in the playoffs. And they got the talent to win the division. The problem is they need to fix that, and also sooner or later you gotta address the money wise between either you're gonna keep Jamal Chase or T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm. You know how about that. Now we can go to MetLife right quick and deal with the heartbroken Jets. Had all this hope, all this wing of a prayer, just for them to have the same season they have been having for the last 10 years. Yeah, last time they made a run was it's been about 10 years, 12 years, and then they haven't won a Super Bowl in about 50, 60 years. And no matter what happens, they're still falling into the same trap. They either make the playoffs and get embarrassed, don't make the playoffs, or just lose it all altogether. Well, looks like they're about to lose it all altogether. But I kind of warned people about this because the minute they got Aaron Rodgers, you knew you were on the clock. If you didn't win a Super Bowl within the next 2 years, you have literally wasted all of your assets, all of your effort. just to try to get a right now situation because you have an outstanding defense, a pretty good wide receiver, and a pretty good running back. And you thought a 39 going on 40-year-old quarterback was going to walk in there like he's Tom Brady and come out and save the Jets. Let's get one thing straight, folks. There's only one person that can walk into a facility, old as he was, but as old as Tom Brady was, that mind was sharper than ever, the arm never died, and the weapons were a whole lot better. And there's only one person that can do that. And we saw it only happen one time. And I said it was going to be a long time before another old person come, especially in the quarterback position, walk through a door and change a franchise around within 3 years. Not going to happen again.
Um, mm. Well, let me see here. If I remember correctly, last time the Jets made it to the playoffs was in 2010.
And that was
14 years
Anastasia
ago.
Sanchez.
Yeah, but guess what? Alex Sanchez got hurt,
Yep.
and Mark Brunell took him home.
Yep. Messed that shoulder up.
Shoulder up. Mark Brunell took him home and got him in the play and got Jets in the playoffs, and they ran to a team by the name of the Pittsburgh Steelers that year.
Yep.
And later on that, Pittsburgh Steelers went on to go on to the Super Bowl, eventually losing to the team that the team named the Green Bay Packers and the player who is playing for the Jets right now.
And that's crazy.
Our time has traveled. The Jets, the Aaron Rodgers, look here. Jets, another team who needs a young quarterback. Well, actually, they got a young quarterback in Jordan Travis.
And they just don't play him because of Aaron.
And that, to me, like this, Jordan Travis shows you who he is. For the Jets, let's face it. As we said it before, you're dysfunctional. There's nothing to talk about. Geno Smith waited for it over 5 years to get a hold to you. After you did him dirty. And you think you forgot about it? He circled that date. And he knows. He waited for over 5 years to get a hold to you. After you do him wrong. So I don't feel sorry for the New York Jets on losing the game today. I'm very happy for Geno. And I said this before on the show for 1,000 times that road Geno plays more better than home Geno.
I hope you know that, Aaron. That's your sign. Today was your sign. It's time for you to come on home. You brought Devontae Adams out of his lovely home in Vegas and send him out to New York, living with you, just to be in a worse situation than he already was. It's time for you to come on home. Enjoy the retirement life. It's okay. It's okay. All right. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was the last of the 1 o'clocks, and it was for us. Let's get to the Rams and the Saints. Ugly, but effective. Rams did the one thing they like to do: balance football. Was not a good day for Stafford, stats wise, but he did throw 2 touchdowns. He did not throw a pick. Pookie got in the end zone, and a familiar face got back in the end zone.
Yeah. Kyron Williams, welcome back to the land of the grass.
Yes, Lord.
We were waiting for you for nearly 3 games.
And welcome back
You
to
took a
100 yards.
You took a vacation. Um, the
And you can
Rams,
see they're starting to use Blake Corum now a little bit more.
and that's what they need to do. Well, Blake Corum's not a bad running back at all. He's not. The point is, Puka, welcome back to in the end zone. First touchdown in a while. The problem is this: the Rams. I think their momentum started to shift at the right time when it's postseason push. They've been in the road for the Saints. They're ready to end the season.
Yeah.
Byron,
Yeah.
they're ready to end their season.
And Derek Carr, get ready to go bye-bye too.
Yeah, they're another team that look for a quarterback and a DB since you shipped Marshawn Lattimore to Washington. Yeah, I can watch. I can look at the Saints right now, and I can see their demeanor. They're ready to get it over with.
Yeah. They're just ready for this season to be done and over with.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they're actually ready for the Super Bowl because it's in their building. I think they're ready for the Super Bowl at this point.
I look at them like this. They're just giving up.
Yeah.
They just giving up. And you need, I say leadership, and this is why I say this. I'm gonna say this. Leadership plays a key role to everything. Derek Carr has that leadership, yes, but he doesn't use it. Not like Drew Brees did when he was with the Saints.
Because I think the two leaders of this team is Tyrann Mathieu and Cam Jordan, and I don't think they're really even saying anything because I think they're ready for the season to be done and over with too.
Yeah, I think, and Marshawn Lattimore was their leader too.
Yeah,
yeah. But once Marshawn Lattimore got shipped, they threw the towel.
Yeah.
So that was it for the Saints. So they're ready to get this over with.
Yeah, I think they're just ready to just say, you know what, let's go ahead and just get a high draft pick. And try to build around our wide receiver core.
And if I was the Saints, I'll get a younger running back.
I would too.
I'll get a younger running back because, and that dude, if he's on the board, if he gets there, that boy from Boise State will fit mighty fine. If he stays on the board, we get to the Saints.
Buddy, I tell you this much. I know if they got to pick a quarterback, I would take a quarterback. But there's a certain players, even though a quarterback is available, you can't miss on.
No.
And Alshon Jeffrey is one of those ones that if he's on the board while you're there, you better go pick him up because you can find another quarterback in the draft or you can find them in free agency. And you can't find another Ashton Jeffrey.
Nah.
You're not going to find another one of those. Just like when Bijan came out, Atlanta did the best thing and the right thing. They might need a quarterback, but you're not going to find another Bijan Robinson.
No. Bijan fell under the lap.
Yeah. And if Ashton Jeffrey falls into New Orleans' lap, please get it.
Oh yeah. Please. Because Kamara, he's like 31, roughly 31 now, almost 31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
These are the type of time when running backs when they get in the 30s and running back, well, unless your name is Derrick Henry, it's a different story. But these are times that running backs,
especially for a smaller running back,
at 30, 30s in the 30s, start to slow down.
No, yeah. Especially the smaller running backs. Smaller running backs, once you crack 30, it's starting to get a little harder to get that juice. You might have it every now and then, but if you want it on a steady basis, there's only a few people that we can say that has a steady basis. And the bad part about it, The two of them they played against each other today. But before we
Yeah.
get into that game, there's only one other game left. That was on the 4 o'clock game outside of the main event, and it was actually pretty good. Another rival game, and it's a team that actually has been playing well the last 2 weeks. Just I mean, I swear, ever since they brought Bryce Young back, they've added Xavier Legette, starting running the ball more. The team, Carolina, started looking a whole lot better. Today, it just wasn't enough time for Bryce. Again, it's another game where Bryce had it. They had it. It was just not. It's just enough time for the other team. Like last week, they had everything they need to tie it with Mahomes and try to get into overtime. You just gave him 2 minutes. You gave him a minute 48 with 3 timeouts. Now today you got the lead. It just Baker. He's just this wizard when it comes to 30 seconds or less. When he gets 30 seconds, it's a wrap. Like I said, I just don't understand it. But I think it was a great game for both. Tampa needed this more than anybody else, so I'm glad Tampa got the win. Carolina, I think now they're starting to look a whole lot better, and I think once they get a few more pieces, I think they could be more respectable.
Mike Evans, how you doing?
Get off.
8 receptions, 118, a touchdown. You still consider Mr. Reliable. But Adam Thielen started turning back the clock. 8 reception for 99 yards. Carolina's another team here that needs another decent impact receiver as well, and a couple offensive line. And I think similar to AR5 Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young had to learn the hard way. When he got benched, that was a wake-up call.
You thought he was gonna get traded.
Oh yeah, I heard about to get traded, but when he got benched for Eddie Dalton, that was almost like a wake-up call. Then when Andy Dalton went down, that's where Bryce said, "Okay,
yeah, come back in. You learned your lesson." Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Carolina. I think they have their impact players. I just think they're just so young. Like Xavier Legette, he just got there and he's already being an impactful player. It's just he just got to get more. He got to get more experience. I think Coker is a good wide receiver for them. He needs more experience. I think re-signing Chuba Hubbard was a great idea because now you got Chuba for at least another 3 years to pair up with Bryce Young, and the defense is getting a whole lot better. I just think they need more. They need more time. They need more time together as a unit. Because I think this could be because I gotta give, as much as it's cuckoo and as much as I laughed at it, I kind of got to give Ali a little bit more credit because he saw the potential of what Carolina could be. That's why he picked them to win their over in wins. And I can see why, because they've been taking teams to the limit. And granted, I know they got nothing to lose because they're probably not going to make the playoffs. But even without that incentive, they were still in the thick of things. And most of these games they've been within the last 5 weeks. So I got to give Carolina a lot of credit. They've been doing well. I think they have improved a lot, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And like I said, if they could just find the right chemistry with this team together for at least another year, I think they can make a little bit of noise next year.
Yeah, they can. And the problem I got is, I think, let's be honest, J.C. Horn started becoming a bust.
Aren't you glad we picked up Pat Surtain? You glad that, because Lord knows, if we'd have picked up J.C. Horn instead of Pat, God.
Oh, I'm glad. But the minute that was going to be sitting there, the minute that J.C. Horn went to Carolina, because that was the day that Dallas would try to trade up to get a cornerback.
I know. They were trying to get Pat, and I was like, no.
No. They're trying
out this door.
People don't know about this story. The Cowboys was trying to wheel and deal with the Panthers
Mhm.
first,
I remember that.
and the Panthers say no.
No,
Then Jerry Jones want to talk to George Patton, and George Patton, for the first time, he got balls. He's like this,
no.
like, no,
Thank God.
no, no. Carry on, bye bye, bye bye.
Thank God. And matter of fact, isn't it the same year they drafted CD Lamb?
No, that same year they drafted Michael Parsons.
Oh shit! See now if you'd have if you'd have did all that, you would have never had Michael Parsons. See, there you go.
Yeah, that's the same year they drafted Mike. The same year they drafted Michael Parsons. I think Michael
See,
Parsons came out of that same year with Pat Surtain and J.C. Horn.
see, there you go. See, we never would have had Michael Parsons. See, that's why you don't talk to us and just keep your stuff. Now, game of the week, fight of the century. Two heavyweight running backs, two heavyweight quarterbacks, Atlanta, Baltimore. One was victorious, one set was defeated. And the victorious one belongs to the team that lives and resides in Philadelphia. And that man, Saquon Barkley, has really just could have possibly put his stamp of being one of the real front runners for MVP this year. You went into Baltimore, you had over 100 yards rushing, scored a touchdown, made impactful plays, and kept Philadelphia in the running to stay where they're at right now, which is 10-2. Defense played very, very well. But I'm gonna get to the real elephant in the room. Oh, you Baltimore Ravens. I don't know what it is about you in big games. I don't know what is up with you in big lights, big stage. You can't get the job done. It's it's been a culmination of things that could have went wrong. Lamar not making the right reads, shutting down Derrick Henry, missing field goals. Defense can't stop the run. Now today they stopped the pass,
That's a shock.
which that's the shocking part. But the more shocking is the fact that they could not stop the run. Let Jalen Hurts score a touchdown, which you all knew that was going to happen. And we all kind of knew that Jalen Hurts, with Jalen Hurts, would throw one, and we also knew that Saquon would score. Just never thought it would be those impactful scores that could kill the Baltimore Ravens today, and that's exactly what it was. Those impactful moments, like when Justin Tucker missed those two field goals. That was impactful moments because the momentum shifted, and now you gave shorter field for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles capitalized on those short fields and got touchdowns. Field goals can get you there, but touchdown win you games. And today, Philadelphia just proved that they were the better team. Baltimore don't get no easier for you with the schedule. So if I were you, you only have really two cracks. You can still win a division. You just have to run the table, or you just hold on to your wild card spot as long as you can. Because if one of the other teams wake up and start to get better and y'all start to get worse, I don't want to see your outcome. So there's
The
that.
fault of the Baltimore Ravens loss falls on number 9. That's who the fault of the Ravens lost on. Number 9.
And that's the second,
Justin
and that's second week in a row for him.
and Justin Tucker, let's just face it. And I know Ashley and Marjo like the Ravens, but let's face it. This year, Justin Tucker has been a shell of himself.
I was about to say she said this when we were out.
He been a shell of himself. It's like, I don't know, Justin Tucker's getting older.
He's 35.
which okay, I'll buy into it. And at 35, your power actually might go down a little bit as you get older on the kicking.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're the Ravens, my suggestion is you might want to drop a younger kicker that similar to Aubrey.
Mm-hmm. Or even Jesse, or like similar to Jesse Bates.
Yep. Get a kicker. You're gonna need it. Because let's face it, Justin Tucker, I don't know where his contract expired. I think his contract, let me see, Justin Tucker contract expired.
I just thought he just got a re-up. I think he got a re-up on his deal.
If he did, yeah, but at that age right now, you can think about it like this. Just because you got a re-up on that deal, they can still cut you.
Oh, I agree.
So
Oh, don't get twisted. Oh, I know that much. I just thought he got a re-up on his deal, I think, this past year because...
No, he didn't get a re-up on deal. Last time he got a re-up on deal was 2022.
So it was about to come up. So his contract was probably about to come up to an end.
So next year will be his last year of his contract. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens drafted a kicker, and after this year, they'll probably move on with Justin Tucker.
Yeah, because if you realize he's the only, him and Joe Flacco are literally the only two players that are left from that 2011 Ravens team that went to the Super Bowl. They're the last one left.
He's the last one now.
He's the last one on the Ravens, but out of all the Ravens, it's just him and Joe.
Right. So Ravens gonna have to think about how far, if you want to get to the next level, a place kicker might be your good chance as well. You got the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive line is straight.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tweak up on your backfield defense a little bit.
Yeah.
But
because Humphrey and Kyle, they're starting to become a little too injury prone for my liking. You need to get more experience on that side of the ball.
And to be honest with you, Kyle Hamilton should not be playing the corner. In reality, he should be playing free safety.
Mm-hmm.
He's much more comfortable on the free safety position than the corner.
Yep.
That's my thing with the Ravens, defense-wise.
I agree.
And, but Ravens going to think about getting a place kicker pretty soon because after next year, this will be Justin Tucker's last year of his contract. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think the Ravens ain't going to re-sign him. They're not going to give him a bump up.
And I'm going to say this now because I want to hear about this later. As much as you mentioned that Kyle Shanahan is on the clock for you,
yep,
John is on the clock for me.
I can dig it.
John's on the clock for me because you've had Lamar for going on 7 years now.
Right.
You've retweaked the roster. You've had rosters that made it to AFC Championship games. You've won divisions. But yet you and Lamar can't get over this Patrick Mahomes hump. Now, I get it. You've been saying for a couple of years, if you had it in Baltimore, you can get him. You had him in Baltimore last year and you couldn't get him. You went into Kansas City this year and you couldn't get him. Now it looks like you might have to go back to Kansas City and possibly might have to try to get him again unless you win the North and then for some miraculous reason they might fall off. But I don't think that's happening either. Point is, all roads still lead to Kansas City unless Kansas City takes another bump somewhere down the road, which I think it could happen. But the main point of it all is all this time, John's 2011 Super Bowl is starting to become an expired. You can't live off of that anymore. Yes, you've made the playoffs. Yes, you've done tremendous things for the city of Baltimore. But now that you've made this change. You got rid of Greg Roman. You brought in Todd Monken. Change the offense around. It could be a passing offense, and you bring in Derrick Henry. We all said at this point now Lamar doesn't have any more excuses. Neither do you, John. You don't have any more excuses to not get out of the North, let alone try to win the Super Bowl. I get it's hard. I get it's not easy. But when you look at the model of consistency, it's in Kansas City. They do everything what they need to do in order to get it done. It's time for you to crack that code, and I don't know how you're going to do it, but you need to do it soon because if you have Derrick Henry for these next 2, maybe 3 years, and you don't crack a Super Bowl, it's time to start looking at you a little bit more differently because that 2011 championship is starting to get old, real quick.
Hold on a second.
So, I love and appreciate what you've done, but also at the same token, your seat is starting to get. I think for me, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, your seat is starting to get hot. Your seat's starting to get real hot, and you need to fix it real fast. That's just me. I don't know about anybody else, but that John Harbaugh seat's starting to get a little hot for my liking. Now, the only game that's still left right now is this Sunday night ass whooping between Buffalo and Buffalo and the San Francisco 49ers. Well, and we quoted before the game, like during the game. Once again, Christian McCaffrey is hurt and he's out for the rest of the game. Glad that Jordan Mason is making it easier for the line to move the ball. They just can't score points. They can't score no points tonight. They got nothing. It's Buffalo in the snow. I mean, what do you expect to happen? I mean, hell, Kyle Juszczyk just fumbled at the goal line. You can't make this up. Can't make it up. Kyle Juszczyk fumbled at the goal line.
Josh Allen don't have to do that much at all.
No. I mean, James Cook got over 100 yards in the first half.
And I can't. Once again, he dodged another bullet by me.
Oh, don't worry. When he sees Detroit, I think that's when it's going to happen. It's when he goes to Detroit. I really think when Josh Allen go to Detroit, that's when you're going to finally be able to do it. I don't think I don't think you're going to do it this week. I don't think you're going to do it next week. But I guarantee you, by the 15th of December, when they go to Detroit, that's going to be your time when you pull up the full mask and say, "Is this your king?" I think you can have it then. But I believe when they go to Detroit, it's going to be a whole different story.
Well, Buffalo's schedule is easy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit's
outside of Detroit, yeah.
Well, Rams on a rise, but let's look at the next three: the Patriots, the Jets, the Patriots.
Oh yeah, they should be up. And the crazy thing about it is, if they win today, or when they win today, they'll be the first team to clinch their division. So they'll be already set.
Yep. Buffalo also got a chance to get number 1 seed too.
Yep. All they just needed KC to take one more loss somewhere down the road. If they can finish up and they take one more loss, they get the number 1 seed.
Let me see. Kansas City next 5. They got the Chargers. They got the Browns. They got the Texans. They got Pittsburgh, and they got Denver.
So it could come down to those last 2 games.
Yep. And I'm like this. If Pittsburgh don't get them, we'll get them.
Oh yeah, it's owed on us. After you block our field goal to win, oh no, you owe us. And we're at Denver. Yeah, you owe us.
Yeah,
You're gonna owe. You're gonna owe.
We come to collect our debt.
Yeah, and look, and don't let that be the game where we might need to make the playoffs. Oh, don't let that be that type of game. Because if it is, you don't want this work. We're gonna do everything in our power to make the playoffs, and if it has to go through y'all, damn it, we're gonna go through y'all. I don't care what you say. We're gonna take that game. We will take that game. Don't care what we got to do to get it. We gonna get it, and we're at home. No. Now, all right. Let's do a little bit of college football because I need to get some off my chest.
Oh, certainly.
Right. I have two teams I would like to get my point across right quick. First, Ohio State. Oh, you Ohio State Buckeyes. What have we done? All you had to do was win, and you were in. All you had to do was win, and you were in.
Stuff in the freezer.
And here you go, run around,
Put it in, please.
give that team in Michigan a little glimpse of hope for next year. Because now you let the new head coach, who was the interim head coach, come into your house and take over. Like Jim Harbaugh never left. You really let this one down. I got nothing for you, Ohio State. I don't. Just as much, I don't have as much for you as just as much as I don't have nothing for my favorite team. That Miami Hurricanes. Y'all just if y'all don't make the playoffs, I don't really care. Because you don't deserve to go. You don't deserve to go. You don't deserve to be in it. You don't deserve to live in it. Every time where I think Miami Hurricanes is back, always do something stupid at the wrong time to prove otherwise. How in the world did you lose the last 2 out of 3 games? We lost to Georgia Tech. And then we turn around on the last game of the season, win, and you're in. And you let this man go into Syracuse and get the most iconic win in his entire football coaching career. And you let that man come in here and do this.
We worked our butts off for it, fell short a few times, and then we got the opportunity to do this. Hey, Dabo Swinney, congrats. I got you in, baby. I'll holler at you later. You get a shower? He said, hey, guess what? I'm getting washed. Hey! We worked our butts off for it, fell short.
Y'all let Dabo in the ACC championship game. Y'all did this. All you had to do was go to Syracuse, get a win, and you have a nice little turnaround and get ready for Charlotte to play SMU. And that's another thing. Y'all let SMU come into the ACC and not only be the number 1 team in the ACC, but the only team that's undefeated in the ACC. Their only loss was to BYU. That's their only loss. And you let them come into the ACC and take over a conference that's yours. If Miami don't make the playoffs, I won't be mad. because you don't deserve to go.
Well, I'd like to get on. I had to get on to somebody to the forefront. Clemson, how you doing? You lost to South Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah. So sure that Syracuse helped out Dabo's winning the Clemson Tigers, but the Clemson Tigers couldn't help themselves out. This is why I said the SEC will dominate the ACC for a reason. This is why. South Carolina came in your home and beat you by 3. And as of now, the only way I can see you may not get in the postseason with that loss.
no, they can make it if they beat SMU.
If they win the ACC, if they win the ACC title,
Yeah,
they got to convince the college playoff committee to say, "Hey, look at me, I won this." So that's the thing. So obey. Well, obey garlic, hard salt. So that's the thing. Another thing is another person need to talk to. Really, nobody. Oh yeah, I do. Texas. Let me talk to you, Texas. The first few months you've been dominating. You've been dominating all throughout until you ran to the University of Georgia. Ever since then, the only blowout game you had was against Florida. Now Texas A&M took y'all to the limit, even though y'all escaped. So that's nothing. Good news is now going to be between Texas and Georgia for the SEC title. We'll watch on to it.
All I can say for that game, Texas, you better bring your A game, because if you thought the butt kicking you got in Austin was bad, see, there's one place where Georgia does not really lose at. They don't lose in Atlanta. They don't lose in Mercedes-Benz Dome. Outside of y'all, I say they don't like to lose. They've only lost one time in there. But when it comes to the SEC championship in that particular building, and y'all are the newcomers, you better bring, if what you brought to A&M is what you're gonna bring to Georgia, the butt kicking that you got in Austin is going to be twice as bad when you come to Atlanta. And the only reason why I know this, ask the first team that played against them. Clemson. Clemson came in there and thought that they were the big talk of the ACC and got humbled real quick. I mean, real quick. Like, almost just as bad as Georgia beat TCU in the championship. Humbled real quick. So, Texas, bring your A+ game, because that's the only way you're going to have a chance to win the SEC title. So that's all we got for right now. I know tomorrow night we'll get more into the association. We'll get more into the college realm at that particular time, and then we got a Monday night revenge game. We have a revenge game tomorrow night. We got somebody coming back home just with the wrong team. I'm so sorry, Jerry Judy. I love you dearly. But, buddy, You're coming back home, and you're gonna have Jameis with you. But the one thing Jameis likes to do when he has a great game, he likes to have a bad one right behind you. And you're playing one of the top-rated defensive teams in passing. First, number 1 team in sacks. Number 1 team in bad balls. Jameis, if I were you, I wouldn't try to throw as much in Denver. Because if you do, we're going to take it from you. And we're going to score.
Another thing is, tomorrow, well, we might get some MLB free agency because there's a lot of free agencies out there now.
Yeah, we got some free agencies in baseball we got to get our hands on, especially now that the Dodgers have got a new arm and that new rotation. It's just going to get very more scarier. It just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
Yep.
But it has been great. It's been a great run.
I'm still playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're done, Marco. We're about to finish up now. So come Monday night, tomorrow night, the whole crew will be back. This has been a good Monday night show. So my brother Lone Wolf, I appreciate you being out here. Of course, this is your boy Rob here. Of course, this was Broncos Day, so you know we had to represent us, and it's going to be worse tomorrow because we're definitely going to win, and it's not even going to be close. I'm going to just say this now: Cleveland don't have a chance on us. So yes, the end. We're not even going to discuss it. We're not even going to discuss it much on Monday. So good night, everyone. Thank y'all for staying up with us. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. Peace.